Now some of you who looked at this title might be asking something. What the hell is Something Evil? Well, it's Spielberg's second direct-to-television movie after Duel, but unlike Duel, this one didn't get an extended theatrical release, and in fact to this day it has gotten no video release at all. In fact, the only way I was able to watch it was via YouTube. So was it worth it? Not really. It's mostly boring, kinda silly, and just not that interesting. It stars Sandy Dennis as a young actress who moves into a farmhouse in Pennsylvania with her TV producer husband, played by Darren McGavin, as well as her 2 children. Not too long after they move in, Dennis notices that there may be something wrong with their older son, named Steven, who seems to be acting a bit weird. And as the film goes on, we learn that the house may in fact be haunted by demons, and that Stevie has been possessed. Let's just get my problems out of the way first. This movie is boring. And with this premise, you would expect it to be at least a little interesting, and at times it is, but for the first half, there isn't much to do with demons or anything. They hinted it a few times, but a lot of it is just watching these people do stuff. But I really don't care about these people. They aren't hateable, but I barely know anything about them. And also, the acting isn't that great. To be fair, I watched a very low quality version, but they all sound monotone. That is, when they're not being completely over the top. And they don't really have that many facial expressions other than, well, the Spielberg face. Even its jump scares aren't that good. There's one part where Dennis walks into a barn and bats fly down, and I think that was supposed to make you jump, but it didn't. And it can get way too over the top. There's one part where 2 people are driving and all of a sudden the windshield cracks, the woman screams, and then the car catches fire. When I saw that, I could barely comprehend what just happened. There's also a scene with a neighbor being attacked by a demon in his home that is so overly edited and just cuts to it, so it's jarring. And then there's the climax. I won't spoil it, but it's so overblown and so out of nowhere that there was just no way to take it seriously. Now onto the good stuff. The movie does have a good atmosphere going for it, and the cinematography is great, especially for an early 70s TV movie. In fact, the cinematographer for this would later go on to do cinematography for both Jaws and Grease. To me, the most chilling parts of the film were the more subtle moments. For example, there are a few times where Dennis is walking through the barn, and all you hear is the sound of a child crying. Then there's a part where Stevie is knocking a ball against the house and Dennis is inside. She's just walking around when all of a sudden, the knocking stops. And you know something is wrong. But the best moment is when the father is reviewing the footage for the commercial. His editor pauses on a scene, and in the window, all you can see are 2 glowing orange eyes. No big music, nothing to point out and say, be scared. Just the idea of those eyes peeking out the window, and it was terrifying. So overall, I don't regret saying it. There's definitely enough in here for me to personally not see it as a waste of time, but honestly it feels like a precursor to movies like Poltergeist and Signs, except those movies are way better, even taking out the higher production values. I'd really only recommend it to hardcore Spielberg fans or people who are really into atmospheric low-budget horror. Other than that, I don't think there's much here for you. I give it a 5 out of 10. So I'm skipping over Savage, which I didn't even know existed until writing this video, and I can't find it anywhere, so next time we'll be getting into Spielberg's first theatrical movies that are actually over an hour long. See you then!